Hey guys, what's up? It's Jonathan, and today we're going to be showing you how to do the Star-Lord helmet effect. What I want to mention straight away is that you'll need the free Saber plugin from Video Copilot for this effect. I'll put the link in the description below, so go and grab that right now. Okay, so now you've got that effect, or if you had it already, first things first, what you're going to want to do is record yourself on a green screen in 2 takes. One with the helmet on and one with the helmet off. It's really important to keep your positioning the same in the shot, as we're going to be cutting the clips together, so you've got to have a smooth transition. Now for this movement with my head, what I did was I located 4 points in the room that I was filming in, and I made sure that my eye line followed those 4 points in a specific number of seconds. So next after that, what you're going to want to do is take the clips and put them into After Effects. Find the point where you want the clips to switch and then cut them together. What you're going to do next is you're going to duplicate the footage of you wearing the mask. This is going to be the footage that the effect's going to take place on, so you want to make sure that your movement lines up well here. So with this layer selected, make sure you line up the movements of your head turning. Then what you want to do is add a key light tool to get rid of your green screen. Now it's going to take some time to get everything right with this, so just be patient with it. The effects will be great when you're done. Now what you want to do is turn all your layers off apart from your dissolving helmet. So this is where the tedious part comes in. What you want to do is you want to draw a mask around the helmet and scrub through the clip, altering the mask to the movements. You know, it is going to be a pain in the ass to get this right, but you're just going to want to make sure you take your time with it to make sure that the helmet looks like it's a natural fitting thing. What you should have by the end of it is a helmet that follows your movements to the clip below, but leave that clip off for the time being. Did I say that was the tedious part? Sorry, no, I meant this was the tedious part. You're then going to have to make 6 more masks on this helmet layer to act as the dissolve effect. Now, I watched the Guardians of the Galaxy effect over and over again from the first film, and I worked out that the mask dissolves in roughly this order. Eyes and faceplate, that's 1. Forehead plate, that's 2. Breathing apparatus, that's 3. The cheek section, that's 4. The side of the head, that's 5. And finally, the earpieces, that's 6. Now, using this order, you're going to create masks for each individual piece of the helmet. And what you want to make sure here is that when you've got your mask drawn, you're going to want to make sure that your settings below are to subtract. And this is going to be making sure that every movement takes away from the mask as opposed to adding back on top of it. So, what you're going to want to do now is keyframe each individual frame of the clip and make the selected area disappear. So, you know, you'll start with the beginning of the clip being a full faceplate, and then you might scrub 5 frames or 6 frames in front, and then you want to dissolve the whole thing out. So it's, again, a slow process, but it's a necessary one to make the effect work. After that, what you're going to want to do is you want to duplicate that layer and select hue and saturation. Drop the lightness to -100 and then add a Gaussian blur. Play around with it until the edges are soft. Drag this layer below your helmet layer. Then you're going to want to change the scale to around 70%, drop the opacity slightly, and boom, now you've got yourself a shadow. Now again, you're going to want to duplicate the helmet layer and drag it below the helmet that we're keeping as our actual helmet. This is all getting very confusing, I know, so what you want to probably do is name all your layers individually, and it'll probably be a lot easier for you to follow when you're doing this. Now what you're going to want to do is go to Effect, Stylize and Scatter. I changed the scatter amount to around 28 and it gave a pretty good effect. Now what this is going to do is it's going to give the dissolve effect an initial sort of burst, so it's very important to not miss this step out. Next on this layer, what you're going to do is you're going to add the Saber Effect, and then under Customize Core, I changed the core type to layer masks and played around with some of the glow and core sizes. Once again, duplicate the original helmet layer and drag it on top of the scatter layer you just created. Go to Effect and select CC Light Sweep. These are the settings that I landed on. If you want to play around with some, that's absolutely fine. Now you're going to go to the effect, stylize, and pick roughen edges. I found these settings gave the best results, so probably follow something along these lines. See, this is going to be your glitch effects, and it's going to give that mask the Guardians of the Galaxy look. Now to get to that really cool delay effect. So what you're going to need to do is double click on M on your keyboard. All the masks on the layer should appear. Now what you're going to do is you're going to move all the frames 1 frame back. So you've got 24 frames in a second. This is going to be one of those frames, so literally just 1 frame. And what this is going to do is it's going to create that delay effect. Now onto the finishing touches. Create a new solid layer and add the Saber Effect. Keep the existing settings, but under the customize core section change the core type to layer masks. Now what you're going to do is you're going to want to make the mask follow the full length of the helmet dissolving. So all those 6 masks that you created for the initial helmet, this is going to be unifying all those together. And then what you're going to have to do is you're going to follow each frame individually to make sure you alter your mask to that dissolve effect. Now what you should have after you've masked each frame is a sweeping blue light. Now for the first few frames, keyframe the opacity at 0, a few frames forward, change it to 100. This is going to act as sort of a fade in, and what you're going to want to do is do the exact opposite for the end of the clip so it fades out. Now on that solid layer, go back into Saber, scroll to the bottom, and under the render settings change the alpha mode to mask core. This will let the glow of the saber highlight the edge of the helmet, which is going to sort of add that extra realism effect to it. Now for the final touches, all you're going to need to do is create some fake light reflections using the solid blue colour. So all I did for this was I created a solid, changed it to a blue, and then made some masking around it, keyframed the masking to follow some of the movements that I made in the shot, and then I changed the opacity to make sure that it blended in with the clip a lot better. I also played around with some of the blending modes, and I think I landed on a colour dodge, which ended up being the best effect, and boom, you've got yourself a Star-Lord helmet effect. I really hope you enjoyed this effect, guys. Thanks for checking it out, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I really hope you enjoyed it because we've got a lot more tutorials in the pipeline. Finally, I just want to say that we've just launched our Patreon page, and we're going to be putting a lot of new stuff on there that's not going to be on our YouTube, Instagram, Twitter or Facebook pages. So if you can, guys, please consider donating to us on there because it really helps us out. Until next time, guys, stay safe and happy, and remember, collaboration is key.